We're still here looking at the United States election, the presidential election and politics today, a special edition for you. And we have also been speaking with our correspondents so far. We've had our talk with Adesua George in New York and Sean Kimberly in Wisconsin. We had to touch base with the other two in DC, even though we had Chikamodi who spoke to us a while ago via Skype, also a Nigerian American in the United States, telling us about the elections. And before that break, I had a moment with Amarachi. She's also a part of the team you're getting to see live on television now as you watch. We have a huge team and they're all out. Charles Oruka is also part of the team, just as Temitope Fagbemi. These are also here in Lagos. And don't forget that we also have Chamberlain and the others. They'll be doing what you call the all-night bed, keep an eye on the elections. Jim Malone from the Voice of America and Steve Miller, they also have had reports here. These two that you're watching now, they will be up, just in case I try to catch some slip, they'll be up to keep an eye on the elections so that we don't get to miss out on anything. Amarachi, I know your eyes are still very much up there. You know, it reminds me of Tom. It's my favorite cartoon character, and how you can actually keep yourself from falling asleep.
Well, you can keep your eyes on the ball, not to fall asleep.
Absolutely.
You can keep your eyes, because I mean, the moment you blink or the moment you focus on something else, you actually miss the information. You miss a particular figure. You miss what has just happened.
And one thing I haven't been able to miss out is the talking in this election. And I did say perhaps we haven't been able to equate that with what happens back home here, because some say many politicians don't do much of talking. They rather dance when it comes to campaigning, electioneering campaigns rather. So let's put that on the table now. More dance, less talk back home in Nigeria, and more talk, no dance in America.
Well, because we don't really address the issues, back home. We really don't.
They didn't address the issues, much of them, much of that.
No, but look at the presidential debates afford you the opportunity to do that. The presidential debates put you on the spot, and the focus is on the candidates. That's the difference. The focus is on the candidates. You're out there. I mean, whatever it is you're going to say is what everybody gets to see. Everybody gets to understand, where your mind is on many issues, where your concentration is, where your focus is, whether you really do have America at the back of your mind, or if where you really want to take the whole nation to. But here in Nigeria, we don't have those conversations between politicians. We don't have, people just come, they hold a rally, they tell us what they're going to do. We don't get the opportunity to ask them questions. We don't get the opportunity to put our leaders on the spot and say, okay, but this is what you said. I mean, right now you can't even question what they have promised you.
I don't know, who was that man who made history by having his Aleppo moment?
That will be I believe that's the libertarian candidate who didn't even know what Aleppo was. They didn't even know where Aleppo was.
So I still go back. Sometimes I look at the elections, it reminds me of elections here, because sometimes some people don't even understand the issue. But that was a huge one on the spot, the Aleppo moment.
I think it was one of those down moments for him, because you cannot be a presidential candidate and not know about the world issues right now. The United States is leading a coalition against ISIS in Syria and in Iraq. You cannot know that if you're not a presidential. There's no way you can feign ignorance about what is going on. I mean, Hillary Clinton knows, Donald Trump knows, and claims to have, a strategy. He's going to sit down, with his own commanders and so on, and they're going to drop a strategy. He doesn't believe in telling everybody what the strategy is, because he feels that when you do that, you're giving your plans you're showing your hand to the enemy, and of course they can plan how they're going to move around and then avoid, what would have been a very safe and promising operation. But the truth is, you have to, for Americans to trust you, with the issue of defense, then you have to tell us what exactly you're going to do. I don't mean, oh, sorry, I'm not American. You have to tell them what they're going to do. So it just, you really have to be as knowledgeable and as
Absolutely.
being able to converse and tell what exactly you're going to be doing when you become president.
Everyone has been talking about this election here. Every politician, every individual, even the market women who understand the elections, they understand just one thing about the two candidates and the comments that have been coming from the candidates. It looks like our own politicians, the lawmakers, some of them have been talking on this election. Perhaps our producers can let us in on what On the U.S. presidential election.
If it is Clinton that comes in, we should look towards a favorable trading synergy, cooperation, so to say. And it's going to be a symbiotic one. And from the effort of the present administration back home in Nigeria here, and because Clinton is going to be carryover of the Obama era. And to me, people will say Obama has not been good. Obama has just been good. He's been good to Africa, and definitely he's going to encourage us more to, she's going to encourage us more to do.
If it is not her.
If it is not her, then you can trust what is going to come. Because if it's Donald Trump, you may not say categorically that this is what he's going to do. He could do anything, and anything could happen, especially on the negative side.
We expect continuation from where Obama will stop, and that is why most Nigerians are routing for Hillary Clinton. The support we have gotten so far from them in the fight against Boko Haram, we want to believe that will continue. And there are so many areas that can also help, because now, after we have defeated Boko Haram by the grace of God, we also have issues in the Niger Delta. Yeah, so we need help with all this. And a continuation of Obama's policies will naturally help us.
Our expectation regarding the U.S. election and then the next president of the U.S., even though we know U.S. they have a famine policy, but all the same, the two major candidates they have, that is Clinton and Trump. And our expectation, if at all Clinton, get the ticket. Let me say ticket. So I think the security issue will be a bit better, because she has a vast experience regarding the security, and then she was in the system for quite a long period of time. So if at all she will win the election, I know the result will be positive to Nigeria security-wise.
Now you had him talking about security and a couple of other issues, but there's one man that we should also put on the spotlight. And a while ago I was asking Chika of his performance and his relations with the continent, where so many thought was going to have a whole lot. Let's talk about President Barack Obama, a phenomenon. You watched that election. You were there live in 2008 when he made history. How has it been so far for him in the last 8 years?
Well, it's been a period of an era of firsts. America seeing its first African-American president, and then an African-American president who's really African-American, being that his father is Kenyan and then his mother is American. And then you see an Obama who did have some passion for Africa. I mean, he's the first American president to have the U.S.-Africa Summit that was held in the United States, inviting over 50 African leaders to the United States to discuss issues of security, economy, and so on. Then he launched the Africa Power Project, and then we've seen a lot of exchange between American businesses and businesses here on the continent and so on. We've seen America also focused on security on the continent, helping us with Boko Haram, with logistics, providing military trainings and so on, and a lot of developmental programs also. I think Africa has done quite well, I think, under President Barack Obama. He didn't visit Nigeria ever in his 8 years, which is some people still were bothered about that. But I think he made it very clear the first time when he made his acceptance speech, he said he would be a president for everyone. He wasn't just going to be, a president for Africa.
So he wasn't an African president. He was
the president of the United States of America.
Oh, really?
That's who he was.
Emerechi, it's been nice speaking with you, sharing this studio with you on a great day like this that has been so busy on your own bit.
Yeah, but you can catch us up at midnight when we begin to monitor the results. We'll be live at the Intercontinental Hotel, myself and Chamberlain, much later. So you can watch out as we cover the results. Of course, Charles and Temitope will be right here, also monitoring from inside, and then we'll be having the reports from outside. We're coordinating a lot of stuff right now, so a lot going on. Eyes on the ball as we begin countdown to who becomes president of the next president of the United States.
My favorite bird, the owl. Very powerful. So I'll stay awake for you and for Channel Television. Well, we'll take a moment now and we'll return shortly. Stay with us.